It hurt me not being able to give you what you want.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Lonzo?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Notice how he put me as a foe, right? Wow.
Hey,
All right, I'm good.
I put Bell and Ray as foes too.
All right, let's do it.
I was trying to. The trouble was trying to find a good image to have for that because I was going to use the one I used on the for the thumbnail, but you know, half your face is cut off, so I can't even make it work. So I had to go back through your streams, like which one's the best one. Got to make Alonzo look presentable, So I hooked you up. Went to your
Respect.
when I specifically went to your Ariel video, the one where you showed the song where Halle Bailey was singing and stuff.
Oh yeah, that one.
That one.
All right, respect. How you doing, brother? Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Doing good. I mean, you know what's up with these this new show I'm doing. When I have a different guest every time. Sometimes guests will return, so there's a chance y'all may see Bell, Ray, Anzo again, many other people. But the goal is to get new people every time. It's going to be people that I've never met before. It's going to be a wide variety of people. So, and we do topics centered around what the guest likes, and I try to, learn some new things. That's the goal.
Good idea to do a show like this. I appreciate it. That's good. You get to feature other YouTubers out there and make more connections. Good.
Right. I did have another topic I did want to hit because I saw you talk about it on a OOC, and I did want to go over it with you. It was about to do with the 7 baby mamas and the 7 kids.
Oh my gosh! All right.
So you want to hit that as a subtopic? We can totally hit that.
Oh yeah, we could definitely hit that.
I got the video too of that guy. Which one did you want to hit first? Walking Dead, the Shanteari Weems topic, or the guy with the 7 kids? It's up to you.
And it's your show. You hit me up with what you want to talk about first.
Well, let's get the guy with his 7 kids. Man, this dude is now. Personally, I know people with a bunch of kids, right? My dad and mom are literally a family of more than 8 siblings on both ends, right? More they have a bunch of siblings and stuff. But the difference is their parents wanted to take care of the kids. That's the difference. This guy got on the internet to basically let us know, the whole world and stuff, like, hey guys, I'm out here dodging my child support payments and stuff. I don't want these kids, blah blah blah. Now the CPS seen this and they're like, not CPS, the people who you got to pay child support to, they seen this, they're like, oh, we got you now. We know where you at.
That's what you get for trying to, be smart and go on, TikTok and make these videos about, oh, I did this. You're just outing yourself. So what did you think would happen? They were definitely going to find you, brother.
He thought he was going to have a point with this. I'm gonna play the video, but it seemed like this guy tried to get on here to try and make a point that really doesn't hold any water. Because okay, dude, he said before this, we're going to just play the whole video too. He said before this, he was already doing this with multiple women before, and he was paying for their abortions. And if people are pro-choice, whatever, that's up to them. I really don't care. If they want to have the abortions, that's fine with them. It's not has nothing to do with me. But what I just took from that, this dude does not like to wrap up. He even admitted he's doing something foolish and dumb, and it's like, then why are you doing it? I get it. You want to hit these girls raw and stuff. Okay, do you? But pull out or something, like they don't not teach him nothing. Like, dang, pull out at least. But he just like bust inside all these girls and pay for the abortions. I don't know how much these abortions cost, but I know it ain't cheap.
Definitely not. And you know, it's same like you said, man. If you're gonna do this and be like, oh, I'm gonna hit it raw, I'm gonna go in raw, and you don't want to pull out, then you gotta expect the consequences, because not every woman is gonna want to get rid of a child, right?
Agreed.
So you
And
gotta be
also
smarter than that.
the women laying down with this guy, I mean, I can't really fault them because they don't lose much. I mean, they get child support money out of this guy, but I mean, you can only get, I don't know what type of job or whatever he got, but
Right.
I imagine you can probably get so much from this dude at best. You know, it's not like they make big money. These girls that do put dudes on child support, it's not like all to make big money. Most of them probably only getting what, 500 a month or something, or maybe a week
Pretty
or
much.
whatever. It's not because they're not dating no rich dude. They're not pulling these on rich ass dudes and stuff. If it was a rich dude, that's a different story. You're gonna get a lot more money, but these girls need to and look, sex is not the same as like getting into a relationship with somebody. That's just, you know, most times sex is just one night thing. You know, you gotta put too much thinking into it. But it's like really think about these people you are sleeping with. Because
Absolutely.
this dude right here, he just busting inside any of them. Unless, like you say, if they do want to keep the baby, they're going to expect him to be the father. And with this type of mentality, I'm just going to go ahead and play the video real quick. Let's just play this video so everybody in the chat can hear this nonsense.
And 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you're trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me.
Now, just play devil's advocate for him. I mean, he did say he don't want them kids. And look, even if it was someone like, if someone told me they really didn't want to do nothing, it's like, I wouldn't even want to. Now, it depends on the situation. This situation like this, you may have to, but I wouldn't want to force nobody into nothing that they don't want to do, because all they're going to do is just half-ass it.
Absolutely.
Like, being a father is a job in itself. Being a parent is a little job in itself. Also, you know, this is it's a job that some parents do like to do, but it's a job in itself. Would you want a father that's going to half-ass it? You know, you might tell this father, hey, could you go hang out with the kids? Yeah, I'll go hang out with the kids. You take them to the park and you're not even watching them. He's like, just go to the park around the corner and probably at home chilling, just doing nothing. Like, I would want somebody that's at least engaged. This dude is not engaged in nothing. He does not love these kids. So I wouldn't even entertain trying to force him into their lives. Like, all right, if you don't want to be in their lives, deuces. Don't try to come here later talking about, I want to be a daddy now, blah, blah, blah. Go do your
because
own.
I'd have to ask, when he says that to these chicks, what do they say? Okay, no problem. Do it anyways. Like, you know what I mean? You saying,
I feel like some of them because, you know, sometimes things take time for people to like process and register. I think in the moment they was like, all right, cool. But then as they're thinking about it, they're pregnant. They walk around with this baby for however months they got him for, 9 months. And, you know, some of his kids are probably already born, but they're probably thinking over time like, dang, I can't do this all alone. Or, you know, this is tough. And there's all this stuff going on. They're probably like thinking like, dang, I should have been harder on him when we found out we was pregnant, all that. Like, they was not hard enough at times. They wasn't thinking about it. And then in the moment they thinking like, oh, I just did it with this dude, you know, he all cute and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't think ahead. They didn't even think past those 9 months. They just thought, you know, oh, well, I can deal with it. You know, I got family and stuff who can watch the baby, blah, blah, blah.
So the first thing that should have came out of the woman's mouth is then strap it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
If that's what you're saying, if you saying you don't want to have a child, then you need to put on something or else you ain't getting in here, right?
Facts.
Because anything can happen, right? Women can get pregnant off a pre-cum. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So anything can happen. So if you know that you don't want to have this child and this woman's like, oh, well, okay, you don't want to have a baby, then you better wrap it up for sure. 100%.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, look, I ain't gonna lie, a condom does take away a bunch of feeling. It do, but just do it. It ain't gonna hurt. If it's with your, let's say you married and you've been with a girl for so long. Okay, I understand why you wouldn't want to use a condom. Y'all both trust each other enough to not use a condom. You know, you trust the husband enough to pull out. But in this type of situation, when it's not people you don't know, you can't just take that risk because you could get sick, you might get them pregnant, anything could happen, just anything. Or you do what Drake does. Put some hot sauce in the condom.
And right, to take it a little further, right? So he says 7 of them didn't, but he said there's multiple that had the abortion or took the plan B. So you have to ask yourself, how many chicks are you hitting raw, right? And you are not like having a baby should be like one of the least of the worries. There's diseases out there too that you can catch by multiple raw fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. It's crazy.
So we keep moving forward with the video.
To be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't.
He kind of
and I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I didn't told her or them I did not want. Another thing is,
this man seems like a very self-aware supervillain. Like he's not denying he's doing some bad stuff. He's trying to like, I'm not doing a good thing. I'm a bad dude, but this is what I do. Hey, I mean, at least he ain't being like, he's being honest. He's being open. I don't fully agree with it, but at least he's being honest. Because most dudes like this in this situation, most of them ain't gonna be honest about it. He being honest, at least. I can't fault him on his honesty.
I do, but he also has to take some responsibility too, right?
Agreed.
Because that's the thing I was gonna say. Like, he's like, "Oh, I didn't pull out." Y'all know how hard it is to pull out, anyways, right? Yep. So you know this as a man. You know this, so you know there are chances, and obviously, if it's 7 of them plus ones that had the abortion, he ain't pulling out at all. There is no pulling out for him. It's obvious he ain't even trying to pull out. So you got to know that at least if they have the baby, you are responsible too. Yes, the women have some responsibility. I agree with that 100%, especially when he's telling them before that he don't want no kids, right? But you still have a responsibility as well. And you fathered these kids, and now you have to pay the price because the government's going to come on you and make you pay if you don't want to do it. So,
and if you don't, they're going to put you in jail. And that's just enough incentive not to. That's just enough incentive to act right and do what you need to do. Now, I agree, in this country, there is loopholes women could use to make that to abuse it, but for the most part, it's not a completely bad system. It's just that for certain people, they do abuse it because there's loopholes, and with that's thing with the law, there's loopholes to it. If you understand it, you can use those loopholes, but
absolutely.
Overall, the law of trying to make fathers commit to taking care of a kid that's theirs, not a kid that's not theirs, because there's been some cases where men are forced to support a kid that's not theirs. There's cases that have happened, but in this case, he's willing to admit these is my kids, these are women I've been with. I mean, regardless of anything, you gotta take responsibility. You brought them into this world. They didn't ask to be here. You brought them here. You brought them here, so you need to wise up and help these kids out.
Absolutely.
These just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this shit and be like, black men this, black men that, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Well, I mean, I don't look. I don't really disagree with the last part. I mean, look, if you don't want to take care of them, it's your choice. At the end of the day, you do what you want to do. But regardless of what you want to do, they gonna find a way, whether it be the law, these women, or your guilt. It's gonna find a way to make you take care of these kids.
Absolutely.
It's going to, because that's the thing. Like we have the freedom of choice to make our decisions the way we want to, but there's always something else in us that just gets us to end up doing it when we don't. It might be out of desperation, survival, guilt, anything. Something's going to get him to take care of these 7 kids. I don't know what it's going to be, but he's going to be taking care of these 7 kids soon.
Absolutely. And if he's not taking care of them, being around, he's going to do it financially. Government's going to come down on him and he's going to have to do it. The only way he could probably avoid that is if this guy were to say, you know what? I'm just not going to work. Or maybe every job he has is under the table. That way he doesn't have to really declare any money, so you can't get anything from him. But at the same time, government's going to look into how are you living then? If you ain't making no money, how are you paying your rent? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? So either way, at the end of the day, you got to be a man and take care of your responsibilities, man. And that's another thing that's going to be messed up too, because now you're going to have 7 kids who don't have a father in their life because he don't want to be in their life. You know what I mean?
Yep. So. And, it's not to say that, and also it's not to say that most kids cannot live without a father, but having both parents in the home, and there are some people in some cases that have both parents in the home and they end up strung out on drugs, doing stuff, killing people, being a thief or whatever. But there's enough people with both that we have seen that have lived pretty normal lives and stuff, but not having that father or the mother in home, it really affects kids. Like, just imagine, think about the kids who are orphans that grow up without their parents, and then they get into, finally being parents, and they don't really know what to do because they haven't seen an example of what it means to be a parent, or they have to go to external things like probably movies or other people that they grew up around and stuff, like seeing other examples that may not be the best example, and it's kind of like they gotta take a gamble with it.
Absolutely. And it's a statistical fact that kids that come from 2-parent homes usually do better than single parent homes. You know what I mean? Not always, but if you go with the facts, you go with the statistics, it's usually 2-parent homes, right? So
and and with those numbers, it's not to say that if you just have a two-parent home, you're going to be guaranteed success, because like we said, all those numbers do is they let us know that there's a higher chance that you're going to do better in life. And for the most part, I don't disagree with it, because you got 2 people in your life that care about you. One is a man, one is a woman. They both been through these walks of life, and they're teaming up to raise you to be the best you can be, to be better than them, than where they was at, and to succeed in this next generation coming up.
Absolutely, 100%. And you as a man should know, like me, like when when my son's mother said she was pregnant, one of the happiest days of my life. You know what I mean? Like, how could I never how could I ever have kids out there and not want to be a part of their life? That is me.
Right.
That's a part of me. You know what I mean? I would embrace that, all 7 of them, 100%. I may not want them, but I'll embrace them. You know, I may not have wanted them, but I'd embrace it. Absolutely.
Right, because like even for me, like I'm not right now, I'm not too fond of having kids yet. Like yet, no, I'm young in my 20s. I want to enjoy that shit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in my 30s, maybe that's when I want to start having kids and stuff. But at this moment, I already like being around kids that aren't even mine, like my nephews and stuff, or my nieces. I'm already watching most of them all the time, taking care of them, being around them. Like I couldn't see myself, me personally, not wanting to be in my own child's life. Because if I can be in
Right.
other people's kids' life and help them out, you know, babysit, all that, I mean, I should be able to take care of my own and
Mm-hmm.
show them that same love. But see,
Absolutely.
and this is the difference with it, because when I take care of my nephews and nieces and stuff, they're not with me every day. Like if I have my own child,
Mhm.
I gotta be with them 24/7. You know, I gotta
Yeah.
be with them all the time. That's the difference. But the same love I have for my nieces, my nephews, and my cousins that is young coming up, I would apply that to my child too. And
Absolutely.
it's also mine. It's my own flesh and blood. It's coming from me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have a different type. I'm gonna have a greater love for it, but I would want to show it the same type of love I show for the rest of my family.
100%. You know what I mean? You watch this little child grow up. You can mold them into being a little K dots. You can mold them into being a
True.
MCU hater. You know what I mean?
But see, Anzo, and that's the thing too that blow my mind, because it just men like both men and women.
Hmm.
I know some that, you know, grew up like around kids, raising kids and stuff, you
Hmm.
know, and you know, like babysitting and everything. And then when they grow up, for some reason they just build this mentality where like, man, I don't want to take care of no kid and stuff. And it's like you was just growing up taking care of kids and stuff. They wasn't
Hmm.
your kids. You was probably in some situations forced to do it because
Right.
you because with your maybe your mom said, oh, we need you to babysit your
Hmm.
sister's kid. You know, it's like I don't
Hmm.
want to, but when you got into doing it, it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Hmm.
on a little temporary thing, just babysit for a
Hmm.
little bit. But if you can do that so young growing up, and then all of a sudden you don't want to even take care of your own kid, that's just wild.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's like, oh, having kids is hard. Yeah, it is 100%. But, you know, you make do. You know what I mean? I made do. Yeah, it was hard, you know, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. No, no, you just gotta, you know, pull your pants up and do a little harder in life to support your child. And I enjoyed every minute of it, you know? I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, and at,
Shit, I'm looking for a grandchild right now. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, boy, you need to make me a granddaddy now, so I can spoil this little kid that you have. You know?
you gotta give him time. He's still in his 20s and stuff. You gotta let this man,
Yeah, I know he ain't ready.
let him wait until like his 30s, early 30s. I
Hey
think that's a
man,
good time to start having
I don't
kids.
know how much time I got left, so you better have it soon so that I can at least enjoy it. You know what I
WZ said, K-Dots, how do you feel about that Suicide Squad game getting pushed back? Well, a delayed game is better than a rush game, so I'll take it. There is some changes they need to make, because the response that they got from the recent trailer was not good at all. Too much negative where it should be positive. There's a lot of stuff they need to change with that game. So if they're pushing it back to fix whatever issues people got, do it. We don't
And
need
I'm
it.
always at the point, if it takes a little bit longer to fix issues and make it better, then yeah, go ahead and do it, right? Absolutely 100%.
Because you'd
So
rather get a good because these games, this game gonna be $70. I want to pay
mhm.
$70 for a game that's not gonna be good. So
Facts.
go ahead and fix it. That's $70.
Facts.
That's 70.
Because you can't get your money back. You know what I mean? You can't buy a game and say this game is crap. I won't get my money back. Once you open that, and if you buy it on digital, it's even worse. But once you open the physical copy and put that in your system, there's no going back after that. So yeah,
Yeah,
if I'm gonna
I
spend
think
$70, I want a good game.
I think the only gaming app that does that is Steam. Steam's the only one that I think lets you play the game for like 2 to 4 hours, and then if you don't like the game, you can refund it.
You see, I miss demos, right? I remember you
Yes.
get demos every now and then, but I think every game should have some sort of playable demo so that you could play it out and decide whether you want to spend the money on it or not. Because I bought some
And you,
games.
yeah, you make because I noticed they don't do that no more. But
Hmm.
back on PS2, all these other games,
Hmm.
there was demos. I remember when on PS2 they had a demo. It was a demo disc with Shadow of the Colossus, Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, a bunch of
Yeah.
games. And
Hmm.
me and my cousin got it, and we played all these different games. We never bought the games, but it was good to try them out. It was good to
Absolutely.
try them out and see, okay, do we want this? Do we want that? Because you just want to do a little test run, and they don't allow us these test runs anymore. And I think they do it intentionally because they know
100.
if they see a slight problem in the demo, if they see any slight problem in the demo, whether little or not, there people are going to question it, because the gaming community now, we heavily question these games
Hmm.
that are coming out. So if they say, okay, let's keep showing them some trailers, show them a little bit of gameplay, and then just release it all at once, then by the time you get it, you'll be mad. But like, well, we got our $70, so who cares?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing that a lot of these game companies do now, right? They'll put out a game that's unfinished and then give you little patches during the time you have the game,
Yeah.
right? So you see every week, oh, game needs to update because they're patching something. But back in the day, it was like, yo, they needed to put out finished games because they didn't have that option, And I think just give us a chance to try it first and decide if we want to spend our money on it. That way, you don't get as much backlash, right? Because people who spend their money on the game, play it, and it's
You don't.
crap, are going to go online and they're going to trash it. But at
Yeah.
least if you had a demo, okay, yeah, this game's not good, don't buy it, I'm not buying it, boom, that's it. But they don't do that no more. So
Because it's like they say, uh, bad news is, no,
bad
bad publicity is still good
is
publicity,
facts.
right? But
Absolutely.
even then, I'd use an example. Let's use DC. Just because BVS made a lot of money does not change the fact that that negative reception was still not good for the film itself. Yes, it made a lot of money. That's fine. And also the Transformers movies, they made a lot of money, but they still was
Hmm.
receiving a lot of negative reception, which wasn't good for the
Hmm.
future of it. Because we get to Transformers 4, yeah, it made $1 billion, but you went to 5, made 600 something million, made less than I think the first movie, but it made less than the fourth movie, which did $1 billion, which isn't good look, because all that negative reception finally built up, and people was like, you know what, we ain't supporting it no more.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Pokemon fans used to paying full price for unfinished games. Most of the Pokemon games I played, they haven't. I never had that problem with Nintendo, because most Nintendo games, they come finished anyways. I never had any issues with them releasing unfinished games. But one of the most recent Pokemon games they did make, Pokemon Legends Arceus, was having some issues that you will see in a typical PlayStation, Xbox game of today, bugs,
Hmm.
all that. But the ones I paid for in the past, not too much of an issue. Could you imagine if Alexa Bliss became the new Harley Quinn for the DCU? I'm kind of hoping it. I'm kind of hoping it might stay Margot Robbie, because James Gunn did do a pretty good job with her. I think he done the best with her in this at this current moment in the universe. I think she should stay. I don't think she's
I do
too
too.
old. I think she's. I think you can still use her. As long as you keep putting the makeup and stuff on her face, she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's the
And
pre-order.
I liked Margot. I like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. So
What do you think about Lady Gaga potentially playing Harley Quinn in the Epic Joker 2?
I don't know. I seen a picture. I was like, oh, that looks kind of good. It looked kind of hot in it, but I already know that I am not interested in seeing that Joker 2 movie at all. Not interested. I am not spending money to see it. I will watch it on
Oh, you gotta
Onzo
watch it
Vision.
on. Hey, that's some power
Facts,
shit.
facts. Joker 2 is Onzo Vision all the way. Hey, at least I'm going to see Shazam in the theater. You know what I mean? I give it
That's
that.
cool.
But
You got one ticket. That's cool and all. That's cool.
well, Well, two, because me and my son. So there's 2 tickets. You know what I mean?
We have more money for Shazam. That's all we need.
But that movie, I'll pass. Hard pass for me.
Well, I'm still waiting for that one MCU movie. I don't have the Onzo vision. You know what? In the last MCU film I did watch in theaters was Multiverse of Madness.
Okay,
Yeah, last
that wasn't too bad.
I've seen in theaters. All the MCU shows I pretty much watched on my girlfriend's Disney Plus, but I'm not paying for it, so technically,
So wait,
I'm watching for free.
you didn't pay to go see Wakanda Forever, brother?
No, no.
You see, now here, this is the problem, right? And we're gonna get into this a little bit. We're gonna get into this because I'm watching K-Dot's stream the other day, and I hear him talking about, hey, you know, April O'Neil has been white in 7 alliterations or whatever, how many, so it's okay to make her black. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, Superman in the comics was white. Superman in the TV shows is white.
You can't make Clark Kent black. You can make Val black.
Superman and this is white. So we've had so many alliterations of Superman white.
Now that's where the difference kicks in. That's why this is where the difference kicks in for DC and Marvel, right? This is where it kicks in. Because the multiverse nonsense. You never need to make Peter Parker black because you got Miles Morales now. You use him if you want to use a black Spider-Man. If you want to use your Asian Spider-Man, you got Silk, who's a female Spider-Man character now. You use her, a female Asian Spider-Woman. You need an Asian character, boom, make that. You never ever need to make Peter Parker. Hey, in Blame Marvel, they did this. So technically, you don't need to make him black. You don't need to make Peter Parker black. You don't need to make Peter Parker Asian. You don't need to make Peter Parker female. You can keep him as is. White.
But all of that is fine. I'm just saying. Okay, so we talked about Kang, right? Kang being black. Why is there an issue with that race?
I'm not against Kang. All right.
Okay.
This is the thing with Kang. I'm not against Kang being black, but I do want to see, when we saw the different Kangs and stuff, I saw a Kang that like had an alien face. I do want to see different, I do want to see an Asian version of his Kang, a white version. Like, I hope we see because that's what I was hoping with Immortus in them. They was going to look like different versions. Like, some of them would still be Jonathan Majors, but some of them might be, I don't know, not Anthony Mackie, just any other actor. Benedict Cumberbatch could have been a Kang. Who knows? That's why I hope it's not just all Jonathan Majors in just different suits. I want to see different variants. Like we saw Peter Parker in No Way Home. Those are his variants. Loki, we saw his variants. We saw a parallel Loki that looked like Loki, but it was like one out of so many. That was his variant.
And then we also see a bunch of them that look different, right? So what happens if all the variants of Kane are still black? You cool with that?
I mean, I'm not against that. Like I said, we saw an alien looking one. I mean, we only saw one. I only remember seeing one alien looking one in that large crowd of Kangs. Them Kangs are some narcissists too. You gotta be a narcissist to be hyping up yourself like that. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is, it screams narcissist from Kang. That's crazy. He literally just hyping himself up. It's different versions, but that man, he just hyping himself up. He's in his own world. He don't care about nothing but himself.
Don't worry, chill. I know you're pulling your hair out. I know it's killing you.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it in there. Recast T'Challa.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Coming, guys. Coming. Hopefully, if they reboot at Secret Wars, I hope they do a soft reboot at Secret Wars to get not a full-on reboot, but some kind of what James Gunn is doing right now with this DC universe. Not because the MCU is bad. I mean, the MCU is bad, but not because it's bad, but just because for the sake of bringing in the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and stuff, I think they should do a little soft reboot after Secret Wars.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because they're gonna go.
I don't know if they'll do a soft reboot, but I definitely, think they can do other things right now.
Well, yeah, not hard reboot a whole bunch of stuff, but make it to where you create a new world from Secret Wars where all the characters live on that one planet, just like in the Secret Wars comic.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Next topic. So, Shanteari Weems gets 4 years. A lot of people may not remember who this person is. Uh, it was a while back. I think it happened last year. But she basically had a relationship with this man, her husband, and they was working at a daycare. I think they said the husband was a police officer too. I don't know if we're gonna see it in this video, but he was messing around with the children. He was touching the children, and she decided to act as she should, and popped him with 2 bullets as she should. She should have fired off a third one, but she only got him with 2. He's still alive, but she did what she was supposed to do. You know, that was her husband, and that's the thing. He made this a hard situation for her because it's like, dang, you my husband. I married you. There's expectations I have of you, and you do this, especially other people's kids, and I'm supposed to be watching these kids too, and you are touching them, molesting them.
It's crazy, right? And he's doing it at her place, like her job, her daycare,
Right.
so that puts her liable too, as well. Yeah, that's
I'm just, it takes a lot to do what she did, but I'm glad she didn't just sit by and keep letting it happen. She did something about it. You guys have a 15-second clip here. Going to play it.
A daycare owner that her husband is molesting. Parents tell a daycare owner that her husband is molesting their kids, so she shoots him.
I trusted my husband fully. We were both supposed to be on this crusade of saving children.
Tell me what you were thinking when you shot him.
These kids was under my care.
Parents tell a daycare.
There got to be more to it. There's an article here with more to it. But I mean, she makes a point. Like, I trusted you. We are supposed to do this together, and you just backstab me. You backstab these children. You also damn near embarrass us a bit, because like these parents put their trust in this woman. Not saying the parents are blaming the woman, but since by association, it's like, dang, you just put this embarrassment on us. I tried to really watch these kids and stuff, and then you do this. Like, it looks bad on her part. Not saying she did anything wrong. She did what she did right. She did the right thing. She just wasn't aware of all this nonsense he was doing. Now she's aware. She acted upon it, and she did her thing.
And the good thing about it, right, is she didn't come at these parents and were like, no, my husband would never do that. You know what I mean? She was like, oh yeah, okay, let me find out what's going on. And I guess she realized he was doing it, and she popped him.
So, as it says in this headline and quotes, it says, I snapped. Daycare owner says she shot her husband accused of child molestation in a moment of rage. In Sue's interview from jail, Shanteari Weems says she shot her husband in the neck and thigh after a parent she trusted said he abused her kid. No, not sure.
Okay, so pretend this is your car, and say you have an accident.
This seems like it's going to be the longer video.
Mm-hmm.
When they grow up, they will name their girls Shanteari. They better. So and mind you, that's her husband. It took a lot to do something that to this person you put all this trust into, but it had to be done.
But I can see why she snaps too, right? Because if you own your own daycare, you own your own business, something like that, your business is done. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna want to bring their kids to you anymore.
So, and I'm not sure how it works for, especially when it comes to felons and stuff. She probably can't even get a license to have a daycare again after she gets out of after he's
right.
She may have to, do a little, under the book stuff, off the grid type of daycare. But at this moment, her life is pretty much going to be in shambles and stuff. She can't vote. Her right to vote is going to be taken away. She can't even own a firearm if she wanted to, but she can't own a firearm. She legally can't get one, all because she did the right thing. Now, yes, she did shoot somebody, which, she did shoot somebody. That's a crime, but still, this is where the criminal justice system, especially one in the U.S., now this like this in other countries too, has failed yet again. I as a person, that's why I can't see myself in it. And I can see why it's so hard to make these type of decisions, especially being a judge, having to sentence people. But at the end of the day, we need more logic in this. Because at this moment, there ain't no way she should be going to jail for 4 years.
Absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. Hopefully she doesn't do the full 4 years, right? Maybe she'll do like a year and a half or something like that. You know what I mean? But there's no way. Like that's your life on the line. I get it. You can't take the law into your own hands. I completely understand that. But sometimes, you know what I mean? Just sometimes you get that rage in you and you snap. It happens. Yeah, it happens.
Because I guarantee any of the people that was, well, some of these people we know, not all of them, I don't know, but we know for sure they dibble and dabble in child molestation, especially people higher up making these laws for our countries and stuff. It's been proven that they do this type of stuff. Not saying all of them, but they turn a blind eye to this stuff all the time. And I guarantee you, if it happened to one of their kids, they're doing the same exact thing this woman is doing. I'm sorry. They're doing the same exact thing this woman is doing. They don't care when it happens to other kids that aren't theirs. But if it happens to one of their kids, they're going to be all up in arms about it.
Right. Because think about as a parent, like if that's me, you're lucky she got him first. You know what I mean? Because if I got him, I'd have did the same thing. Like, what are you doing? You touch my kid? Are you out of your mind? Come on, get out of here with that.
What up, Snyder? He said, Kata, why does Anzo look like an older Bobby Brown?
Because I'm old, bro.
All right, let me play this video. So 6 minutes, 33 seconds. We're probably not going to play the full thing, but try to get a list of what's going on.
Hi, how are you? Bruce LaShan.
The judge says Shanteari Weems took the law into her own hands. But she says she snapped, and some supporters see her as a kind of avenging angel, seeking justice for horrible crimes against children.
I was emotional.
Her backers were stunned last month when a judge slapped the 50-year-old with a 4-year sentence, twice what even prosecutors recommended in a plea deal.
Despite my surroundings.
And real quick, at this age, I don't like seeing people, especially at like this age, like go to jail. Whether even if like when they're in the wrong for it, like not when in the wrong, but let's say like this situation where she shouldn't even be going to jail. Right. It's like, dang, it's like if you young, that's a different story. That's a totally different story. But when they at this age and stuff, it's like, come on, you know, ain't making these old people do time and stuff like this.
You know what I mean?
I mean, she ain't old, but like, come on, you making her do time for this, and come on, at least some like community service or something. Okay, community service, that's fine. Slap was a year of community service. That's something else. Dang.
I'm doing okay. I have a lot of supporters and people who uplift me and help me survive.
Prosecutors have charged her husband, James Weems, with 33 counts of rape and child sex crimes.
Damn.
He's awaiting trial, and his lawyer is declining to comment.
Don't let them sweep this under the rug. The man is still alive. And
right from the start, the internet was filled with support for Weems under the hashtag #FreeShanteari.
Absolutely.
She shot her husband, a retired cop, twice in his room.
Absolutely nothing wrong.
DC's Mandarin Oriental Hotel.
See, this isn't the case where I'm saying, you know, free this rapper that shot these 5 people. This is free somebody that tried to protect kids from being molested. And it's bad enough we already don't have people in the world that don't do a good enough job at protecting kids that get molested. They try to either sweep it under the rug, especially if it's someone they know. Is this a common thing with kids who get molested? When it happens in a family, let's say an uncle doing it, right?
Yep.
The other family members, they're gonna get on the uncle, but they're gonna make it a point not to tell the police, tell anybody else. It's like, you know, we still family, blah blah. Like, you know, we gonna check them, but it's like, nah, you need to go to jail. I get it, he family, and you checked them, but it's a chance he could do this again. He already did it once.
And He's a retired police officer. He should know better. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? He's a
I
retired
seen it,
police
Snyder.
officer.
We'll talk about it.
That's crazy.
Let me continue it.
Oh, where he was staying while providing security at the Urban League convention. The judge said her attack on her husband was premeditated, not spontaneous, that police had told her days earlier that they were investigating him and they'd shut down her little kid's castle in Baltimore County while they looked into the allegations of child sexual abuse.
The only person I had to find out information from was my husband. And he kept saying he didn't do it.
And you believed him.
I did believe him.
But then, she says, the mother of one of the children, a child she'd loved and cared for years, said they had to talk.
I saw the pain in her face, and I knew that she was not lying. She finally said it was my husband.
You think about that child all the time.
All the time. I think about all the children all the time.
You felt this complete betrayal of trust?
I was totally broken. I felt like the blood had just drained out of my body because, again, this is my husband. I trusted him fully. He was supposed to help me protect these children. He always told me he was my protector. So when I heard this, I just felt like my world had just ended.
She took her first drink in 20 years, and according to prosecutors, texted her business partner, "I'm going to kill him and then myself."
I'm glad
she
she didn't kill herself.
Absolutely.
Eagerly confronted him.
I snapped. I'm not a violent person.
And see, look, I understand for dudes, it is hard to get with women, but in no way should it have to come across as a thought to let me contemplate and then act on trying to get with a kid. Look, if a girl turns you down, that's cool and all. Move on to the next girl. If you have to like lower yourself to take advantage of a child to satisfy whatever sexual needs you got, like, come on. That's honestly pathetic. That's pathetic.
100%. You know what I mean? And when you're in a role like this, you're as a trusted person, right? They have you as, someone they trust to take care of their kids. And now you got someone on their staff or whatever touching these kids. Nah, bro. Nah, I would have been one of the parents. I would have been like, where is he? Let me get him. You know what I mean? I'll go to jail for him. I'll go to jail for it. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this whole situation was like, it's worth going to jail. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to react when I'm in jail, but just to go, it'll be worth it. Because look, this thing, right? If I was ever in this situation and I ended up at the point where this woman's at, this the moment where I'm gonna have to make like my stand. For example, let's say I'm in court and they try to throw whatever logic they use to try and lock up this woman. I'm gonna flip it back because I'm gonna tell them, if you was in a situation, what you doing? Facts. Don't lie, tell the truth, be honest, and they gonna have no choice but to say, well, I mean, what you did, I do too, because that's what you should be doing. Yes, she shot the man, and that's a crime, but still, what she did was the right response. That was the right response. That's the only response you can do for something like this. It's not a response.
And like I said earlier, you know what? I get it. You can't take the law into your own hands, but give her time served. You know what I mean? Something like that, probation or something like that.
Probation would be fine too, and let her let her be able to work. But probation and that house probation, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Let her would go within a certain radius and stuff, but 4 years in prison, no.
Yeah, I agree.
I was totally broken. I felt like the blood had just drained out of my body.
At first, Shanteari Weems says she did not believe the allegations that her husband, a former cop, had abused children at her daycare, Little Kids Castle.
we were both supposed to be on this crusade of saving children. And child molestation is something that we talked about all the time.
About how horrible it was.
How horrible it was, yes.
But then the mother of one of the children, a child she had loved and cared for like her own, told her what the little one had told the police.
I saw the pain in her face, and I knew that she was not lying.
She had her first drink in 20 years. Prosecutors say she texted her business partner and friend, "I'm going to kill him, and then myself." And then she drove to DC's then Mandarin Oriental Hotel, where James Weems was working security at a conference, and she confronted him.
The situation was kind of like a fire. He was fuel, I was fuel. We poured that fuel in the fire and it just blew up. We got to arguing, fussing, and one thing led to another.
How could you bring yourself to pull the trigger on your own husband?
I snapped. I'm not a violent person.
The first shot was in the neck,
Yeah.
and then you shot him in the leg. So you had to think about it between those two shots, right? You didn't think about it.
So that's saying, look, this me supporting her. Look, that hesitation, just let it off. Just let it off. Let all three. Don't even hesitate. Go because you're in the right. You're not doing nothing wrong. I know it hurts. That's your husband, but you're not in the wrong. Do what you need to do. Don't need to hesitate. She hesitated, but hey, he felt them bullets, and now he now hopefully this is a learning curve for him. But at the end of the day, he still needs to go to jail. But this moment, him being shot, should be should be an eye opener for him. Your wife was willing to go ahead and just take your life because of what you did. Absolutely. And when she said earlier, how they used to constantly talk about it, he was probably asking her this stuff all these times to try and gauge what he can do, because some people in her situation might stay silent about him molesting the kids. I bet you all the times he talked about, he was just gauging to see what her thought on it is.
Absolutely.
What he can potentially get away with. Because let's say if she did find out, and she wasn't a strong enough person to actually call this out, he would have been doing it, and she would have been sitting there, just letting it happen, because either she's too afraid to do it, or she loves her husband so much that she's willing to just let him do whatever he wants because she loves him.
Yeah.
But now he learned. He learned now. He knows how she really feels. I'm looking sideways at the officers he's partnered with.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say those officers fully knew what type of person he was, but you do have to question. You does come to question some of the people that was probably hanging around him, because okay, if he's already molesting kids, what was he doing as a cop? So did he what did he use his power and beat up somebody, plant some drugs on somebody? What else did he do?
Absolutely.
I think they should do this with most of these cops in general, especially how they arrest people and stuff. Take a look back through their history of their arrests and stuff, and see if there was anybody that was falsely put in prison because of a investigation that had to do with an officer. You should take a look back at these officers' history that do this type of stuff.
I agree.
If her husband was a white cop, she would have got at least 15 to 20 years.
I don't deny that. Probably possible, D-Skeezer. Probably possible.
Yeah, she probably would have. Oh, you shot this white man? White man that molested kids. But he white.
Yeah, right.
Just probation, community service, etc. 0 prison time. Agreed.
I agree.
The judge made a lot of this issue. He suggested that you were out to intentionally maim and cause long-term pain to your husband. Is that what you meant to do?
No.
You thought about killing yourself?
I did. I feel I let my family down I feel I let my family's those kids down.
Facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just trusted the wrong person.
You said at the hearing that you were sorry.
Right up.
Would you go so far as to apologize to your husband?
No.
I would apologize to him when he apologized to those children.
Weems filed for divorce late last month.
Absolutely.
She has been cooperating with investigators who have charged her husband with molesting 4 different children, boys and girls, 9, 10, and 11 years old.
I think about all the children all the time.
And she hopes when she gets out of prison in about 4 years to start a nonprofit to fight child abuse.
And I'm definitely going to make a great batch of lemonade from these lemons that I've been dealt.
Weems' lawyer has just filed a motion asking the judge to reconsider her 4-year sentence.
Absolutely.
At the D.C. Department of Corrections, Bruce LaShan, WUSA 9.
Listen, I'm going to say this. What the hell do you look at a 9, 10, or 11-year-old and think, oh man, I gotta touch that. I gotta get that. What does a 9, 10, or 11-year-old have that you want? Right? It just, I don't understand people, man. It's crazy that you would really think that, oh, she's hot. She's a cutie. You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me?
Because it's literally nothing they can. Because I think the only reason most of them like it, and it's just the thought of
power.
Yeah, power. They can't fight back. I can you literally use them. And look, most men, I ain't gonna lie, we do love to be the dominant ones in the bed. It's like you kind of just like the girl being submissive. Sometimes you do want the girl to be, get active with it and be but sometimes we just want to
get over here.
Like we just want to
get it.
But that's different. That's what a adult woman who's consenting. She's giving us permission to do so, and there's a line of respect in it too. In this situation, this is just you're scarring a child. You're taking a child's choice away. You're taking this person's choice away, and you are trying to seduce them and trick them into doing something that they do not want to do. And that's actually engaged with them in some acts that you shouldn't be engaging with a child for.
I agree.
Or just bro, look, if just go buy a freaking escort or something.
You know what I mean?
Like if you want to have sex with somebody, I know this dude's probably, look, most of them don't cost that much. You good. Go get you an escort and do something with that. Why you gotta do it to a kid? If you are so sexually, if you really need to engage in those sexual acts like that, just go pay for sex. Go pay for sex.
Facts. You can get yourself a $20 prostitute. You know what I mean?
Right.
And handle your shit there. But to sit there and go and want to touch up like 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds, bro, you scum of the earth, man. And I feel no way about her shooting him. None whatsoever. She should not have got jail time. Absolutely not.
Hopefully, we haven't heard what any of the parents have said about it. What's up, nerd man? DC Stan. But I hope none of the parents feel some type of way. I bet they probably feel like, man, we trust this woman, but I hope they don't have nothing against her. Because I mean, she did do what, like I said, most don't do. She didn't stay quiet. She didn't stay complicit. She stood up and did something. I mean, she did what these parents was probably going to do, but I hope the parents don't have nothing against her for this.
I agree. And like you said, in the video, she said at first she didn't believe, but then and sometimes you can tell by when someone talks to you, right? You can see the pain in their eyes. You can see anger, you know what I mean? And that's something you're like, okay, yeah, this isn't a lie, And when she realized that it wasn't a lie, she did what she had to do. More power to her, man.
Right. And it's like you said, in some cases, you don't need hard evidence for anything. You can sometimes tell from the person, because even police and these detectives and stuff, when they investigate things, they don't have all the evidence. They have to factor in your mannerism, the way you act, the way you talk, the way you speak, any irregularities in your voice. If you pause in at certain points whenever you're trying to confess something,
Absolutely.
They have to go off body language, and most times in life, because we don't have the resources that everybody has, especially police and stuff, to obtain certain evidence, you got to use your critical thinking skills and your
Facts.
intuition to make these type of decisions. She used hers. Now, look, there's a chance the kids didn't get molested, but with the mom coming to talk about it and the people, the victims of it, I mean, all points to him. So it's not really any denial that he did it.
Mhm.
Even the wife thinks he did it.
Absolutely.
And that's the wife. She could have, like you said earlier, Anzo, she could have been saying, "Oh no, my husband would never do nothing like that. He's such a good person." But even
Because
she thinks he did it.
absolutely, because that's what a lot of like when you come personal like that, that's what a lot of them do. Like, no, he wouldn't do that. No, they stand up for the person that's doing the abusing, right? And sometimes they never find out. So all the time they're defending this person. He's just being enabled and continue to do what he's doing. So the fact that she was able to be like, you know what? Yeah, this is some shit, and she took it into her own hands. Good job.
Good on her.
Good job. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Just watch Scream 6 is better than Winter Soldier. I don't know fully about that, nerd man, but I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna try to go see Scream 6 and 65 tonight.
I
Try
don't
to
know.
do a double. Try to do a double feature.
Not interested. Not a big Scream fan. So that I'll
I'm not
pass.
a huge one either, but I need to go to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in like 2 weeks, so I need to go back and experience a movie.
I feel you. I feel you.
Well, guys, that's the
Wait,
top.
hold on. I
Go ahead.
didn't even realize he said it's better than the Winter Soldier. You see, he got to come in here and talk some bullshit all the time. You telling me that Scream 6 is better than Winter Soldier, nerd man? You capping.
It might
Capping,
be. It might
capping,
be.
capping.
It's a
I just
chance.
want
It
to,
could
you know.
be. It's a chance.
It could be good. It could be 100%. But it's not better than Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is one of the best MCU movies they have, bro. Come on now.
2 weeks is a perfect amount of time. Yeah, and I also, you guys, I'm catching up to get on that Creed 3. So far, I dipping in the Rocky 1. Good ass movie so far. That's a good ass movie so
Absolutely.
far.
The
That's
first Rocky you're talking?
Yeah, I'm not done. I'm like literally halfway into it. I started watching it at work, but so far it is good.
So wait, you just now watching the first Rocky? Now, is that what you're telling me? You seeing the first Rocky for the first time?
Yeah, I was not that, and I never wanted to get in because I wasn't a huge fan of boxing movies. Like, it was only a few boxing movies that really grabbed my interest.
Okay.
There was this one movie. It was like Rudy or something. No, it was a football movie.
Rudy's Football.
It was a boxing movie where it was this dude, it was white dude. He was the underdog up and coming boxing. It was at one point in the movie where he like messed up his hand, but he was trying to get this.
Southpaw?
He was trying. No, not Southpaw. It was an old movie, like the 80s or the 90s. He was trying to get this dude to punch him in the forehead. You punch somebody right there, you can bust your knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to get this dude to punch him right there because his hands was messed up and he couldn't really punch. And dang, if someone knows the movie is, please tell me. But it was a
It
good.
sounds familiar. It sounds familiar.
It was a young up and coming white boxer. His girlfriend was in the crowd. She was watching and stuff. His dude was trying to get this. He was trying to use his technique that he learned. Get his dude, punch him in the forehead so he can break his knuckles and punch back. But yeah, and I want to watch before I watch Creed 3. It's not to say I don't want to watch it, but I want to watch all of the movies before I watch Creed 3. I can't just jump into watching Creed 3 and I don't even know what's going on in the original movies or whatever.
So how many Rocky movies have you seen?
None. Rocky 1's first time. I'm sorry. And I know all the big references, like when Rocky runs up the thing, you know, I know the references, but like as far as the whole movie, and I know who the hell Adrian is. Because I've seen a Family Guy parody, right? You know, it was a Family Guy parody where Rocky's in go, Adrian. I was like, is that a dude? Nah, Adrian is shit. So now I know Adrian is.
I think you could watch up to Rocky 4. You can probably stop at that one and then go to the Creed ones. But yeah. And Rocky movies are hella overrated. Not necessarily. I think the first 3 are the best. 4 is good, but then after that, it just kind of.
There's not a Rocky because 4 is when he's trying to he's
4 is the Russian.
Okay.
5 is the
one
Tommy Davidson guy. Yeah.
If there's one boxing franchise to watch, Rocky is it. Yeah, it was another boxing. If I can think of it, I'll let you guys know, but I can't think of the movie right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is better watch. Yep. See, in like some like Scream 6. Like even though I missed 4 and 5, I'm still gonna go watch it. I've seen enough of them to be able to watch 6. Creed 3, I haven't seen nothing. But I have seen some fight scenes of Creed 3 on TikTok that's like, damn, I need to watch this shit. Them fight scenes, see, honestly, that's why you got to get into anime. Anime is literally the blueprint for Creed 3.
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan has said that, but I'd rather watch it in real life than watch some anime. I see all this Hero Academia shit posted on Twitter, and because I'm suspended for a bit, I can't post anything, right? But purpose just Hero Academia, Attack on Titans, and I just want to be like blah 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 blah.
Oh my Hero's not one of the good animes, anyways.
Whichever one it is he's talking about, I'm just like blah blah blah. Come on, guys.
Attack on Titan, you definitely need to watch. That's a good one.
I tried. No, it's not. No, it's really not. It's really not. Anime is not my thing at all. But I did watch the original Transformer movies the other day. You see, now that's what I'm talking about, right? Those are the type of things I would like to watch, not this anime stuff. It's weird.
Well, since you do mention Transformers, that is going to be a question in the trivia, one of them. So.
Oh, interesting. I can't wait for this trivia, man, because I seen what you did to Belle the other time, so I can't wait to see what you try to do to me.
I think the questions I gave you, is going to be, the questions they're based off stuff that you're going to know, but it's a diversity of questions. So it's not going to be about one main thing. It might be about something about, rap,
bring it on,
cartoon. Bro. It's going to be a variety of stuff, but it's stuff that you would know for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna throw you off.
Yes, we are, Knight. Yes, we are. I'm sorry.
Yes, well, Knight, I don't hate Anzo doesn't like anime. My Hero, I'm kind of cool with My Hero. I might jump back into it. I seen that little arc where Deku, he all bad and stuff. Well, he's not bad, but he's stepping up. He becoming a man now. He no longer a boy. I might be messing with it. Soon enough. These peasants. What are you missing? All right. Next topic before we jump into the trivia. You guys know somebody from the chat can bail out Anzo if he does need any assistance with a question. You get 2 bailouts from the chat. Got to be 2 separate people, cannot be the same person, but 2 separate people to save you for 2 times during the quiz if you do need the assistance. But next topic I did want to bring up, and I think we should kind of come to a consensus on who that character might be.
Absolutely.
But who's the best Walking Dead character? Now, there's a lot of characters. You have some great characters over time. Herschel, Glenn, Maggie, all these different characters. But if I had to just pick from a few, if I just narrow it down to like maybe 3 that I can consider, Herschel, Rick, and low key, I would throw in Glenn, but probably the governor.
So I would say I
Rick,
was
the governor simply because for a villain, like just for a villain, the governor.
So I would say Glenn for me. I didn't like him at first, right? I think he grew on me later on, so I wouldn't put him as
Glenn, same thing. He grew on me later because like coming out the gates with Glenn, I never thought he would be able to rise up and start to develop. I always like because when you first watch the season 1, you think like, man, Glenn's gonna be the type of character you got to help him out a lot. He's gonna be slacking. He's gonna be basically Eugene. I thought he was gonna be like Eugene, but he's not that. He actually stepped up. Glenn stepped up, especially in season 4 and 5. He steps up a lot.
Absolutely, 100%. So Mashawn was one of them. I really enjoyed her character. Even when she first came in, I was like, okay, it's, her and the governor going at it, and that fight scene that she had with the governor, she cuts him in his eye. That was fire. Darrow also was a character that grew on me as well. At first, I was kind of like, he's a character that's not really in the book or anything like that, created just for the show. But as it went on, he grew on me too. Now, Rick is just a badass, 100%. From start to finish, Rick has always been a badass until
I would say he did. I would say he had an arc of developing into that because a lot of, especially you look at season 5, like especially around season 4, but going into 5, a lot of the way Shane acted resonated over to him. Now Shane was doing some foul stuff as far as trying to still claim Lori, and like that was probably, out of all things, that was probably the worst thing he did. Trying to still claim his friend's wife when that's not even his girl. But Shane didn't have the wrong mentality when it came to surviving in this world. He didn't exactly have the wrong one, because Rick in season 5, when they get to Alexandria and he's trying to legitimately take over, like he's not saying it, he's implying it, and by his actions, they're trying to secretly take it over. That's probably something Shane would have done. That is totally something Shane would have done. He sees all these weak people here that he knows these people are going to hold us back. Well, we need to think about ourselves and just take over this place and just have it to ourselves.
I agree. He did kind of like, because he was the tough guy, right? You know what I mean? Right. He was the guy like, listen, I have to protect my people. And if this place is weak, I got to make sure that it's strong enough to protect my people, So, yeah, he did go off of Shane a little bit. Plus, he had to kill his best friend, right? But all of that, to me, he was broke by Negan. Negan is my favorite character on The Walking Dead. And still is. Like,
I can't never forget what Negan did to my boy Rick. That was seeing Rick like that is like seeing Thanos with his one little skinny arm.
Right.
Like, I can't see my man. It's like that's see, and that goes to show how invested I was into this show and how much that shit broke me. I couldn't continue. That shit
it was so good.
That shit broke me. I was like, oh my gosh, look what he did to Rick. I get it. We don't want Rick to be too invincible, but damn, I think Rick at that point was already broken enough. He almost saw his son get raped. He lost his wife, and then his son had to kill his wife. He had to. Well, his son killed his best friend, but he had to kill his best friend, and then he had to watch his son kill his best friend again. It's like, damn, I can keep it enough. He saw Herschel die. Dang. And then Negan just comes to do that. That's some bullshit.
No, but that's the thing, though. All of that shit that he'd been through, he was still I'm the tough guy. And then he met Negan, and Negan turned him into a bitch. Nick was a bitch for at least 2 seasons to Negan. He couldn't mess with Negan. And that's why a lot of people say that the Negan arc was too long and stuff like that. Because I was a fan, I enjoyed it.
7 to 8. It was
something 2 seasons, yeah, it was almost 2 seasons, pretty much. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. I was like, yo,
well, because the governor lasted I mean, that's about the same time as the governor because he came in season
3, I think, and
3, and then half of 4.
Yeah. Governor was.
Oh
good
no,
too.
no, because when the governor got defeated, that was still season 3.
Middle of it, I believe.
Yeah, and then he went to that arc. He met Tara and stuff, and
Yeah.
and it,
I mean, for me,
oh
there's
no,
so much
it was 3. It was 3, but it felt like 2 seasons. It felt like 2
Yeah.
seasons. Season 3 was a long season. It felt like 2
there's
seasons though.
there's so much Walking Dead. It's hard for me to remember what season was which and go back, But a lot of people say, "Oh, The Walking Dead is crap," but Walking Dead has its own channel. You know what I mean? On Prime,
Right.
I go on there and there's a Walking Dead channel. You can watch Walking Dead all day, every day. So it can't be that bad. Are some of the seasons not as good? Absolutely. Some of them do drag on. There's a lot of episodes that I find that are just like, meh, we could do without this. But the show is fire, man. The show has always had something in it that I liked. And I think when they brought in Negan, they pushed it over the level. Even when they got rid of Nick, I was like, Rick, sorry. I was like, I don't know how this is going to play out. I miss Rick. I really do. But I also think that they stepped up Negan more. Yeah. And I liked that, I really liked that. So I'm excited for his series coming out with him and Maggie.
Well, since no one hasn't mentioned them, how you feel about our black characters, Tyrese, Bob, and T-Dog? T-Dog don't get enough love, but
I don't think they lasted long enough, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
T-Dog lasted longest. Tyrese lasted 2 seasons. Bob lasted 1 season, but
you know what I mean?
It was. I think T-Dog out of all of them was the best one we had. Tyler James Williams' character, he got quick.
Absolutely. There was the guy that played in Everybody Hates Chris. He was in it. He died in 1 season. Like it was like quick.
But if you notice, I want to say, but if you notice it, notice how long, like even Sasha and Michonne, how long they lasted.
Yeah.
T-Dog and T-Dog and Bob and them, they get off pretty quick. It's like, well, T-Dog not so much, but Tyrese and Tyler James Williams character and Bob is like, dang.
Yeah.
Got a agenda against black man in this show. What's up?
And what was Sasha's brother's name?
Tyrese.
Tyrese was Tyrese, right? Tyrese was the one that saved Rick's baby, right? Died. Yeah, that's how he died. You know what I mean? Like, bro, the black man had to sacrifice himself for this white baby. You know what I mean? And he's gone. I'm like, bro.
He protected them. Then he had to protect them little white girls too.
You know what I mean?
Those 3 little girls.
Yeah.
But I would say, since I did bring up those 3 little girls, dang, what's her name again? Girl with the short hair. She got a relation. They're not dating, but her and Daryl, they're friends.
Carol.
Not Carol.
Oh, Carol. Yeah.
I think in Carol, like she got some really good development. Especially
for sure.
She could probably got some of the best development I've seen in general, going from weak and frail lady to this strong and stern potential leader in a sense, because when she had to kill those when she killed the other little girl, she had to kill think about killing this girl because like dang, she can't really trust her because she pulled a gun on her and stuff. Old Carol couldn't do that. Right. But this new Carol, like she had to do what she had to do. Is like there's no helping this.
And she got tougher and tougher over the seasons because she was an abusive wife. Her husband was beating her up. Rick had to take out the husband. You know what I mean? Take him out. And then there was one, I can't remember. I think it was the season 3 or something, where they were trapped by the cannibals, and Carol had to save them. I was like, okay. Carol turned into a badass, and she became one of the characters as well.
She came through in that season 5 opener. If it wasn't her, they all would have been dead.
Facts. She even came through in some of the Negan stuff too. Like she was tough, man, and she's a good character. I think her and Daryl are gonna have a spin-off show too as well, which I think will be good.
Did you think it was they kind of, because you can have, men and women don't always need to get together. They can have relationships without being a couple. But did y'all think it was weird that they never like really went nowhere with Carol and Daryl? As they joked about it in season 4, like Daryl's was watching them inside the prison, and then Carol just joked about, hey, let's fuck right now. Like she literally joked about it, but she was just threw it off we just friends. That's what we do. But I don't know. I would have been nice to potentially see them become a couple at some point, because that's who Daryl has like that. He opened up to her the most. Like is almost like that's his sister in a sense. Like he can really open up to this woman.
I thought that's where they would end up going, right? But then they ended up giving her a relationship with Ezekiel, and then that didn't work out. So I'm figuring maybe they might end up having something when their series comes around. But I don't know. I don't mind that they're just friends. But I mean, he's got to tap it at least once. You know what I mean? Like there hasn't really had any women throughout the whole 11 seasons. So.
Yeah, that's I think they're
had one.
I think they're doing that just to keep up this whole keep up this constant running theme of Daryl being alone. Lost his brother. He always felt alone the way he grew up and stuff. Dealing with his abusive dad and everything.
Yeah,
I think they just wanted to constantly keep that because that's what. Honestly, Daryl having that mentality kind of keeps him at his best. Not gonna lie, it's unhealthy to constantly be alone for too long, but it's what kept him alive for this long.
Absolutely. And even though he's alone, he still has the love for the community that he helped build, right? He's very protective of them. So I think maybe that's one of the reasons why, because even when he did end up having a love interest, he had to, and I don't know if you watched later seasons, but he ended up having to kill her to save Maggie, So, yeah. Walking Dead is fire. I enjoyed it. It went out pretty well. I enjoyed the final season. I enjoyed the final episode. And I'm looking forward to Fear the Walking Dead. I'm looking forward to the spin-offs when they come out. I'm a big Walking Dead fan, so let's
did they remember it was hinted? It was like a couple years ago. They were supposed to release a Walking Dead movie in theaters. Was that the Rick Michonne thing that they was hinting at that was supposed to go to theaters? But
yes. And I still believe it's coming because I've seen a few posts where Rick is, you show the guy plays Rick. He's doing little scenes from Walking Dead. So I think that is still coming. The Michonne and Rick movie is coming, but I think it's probably going to be on TV. I don't think it's going to be in theaters.
Real quick, Snyder Steppenwolf sent me this. I'm not sure if you've seen this. So there was some things, these ladies from this prison, they got together.
Yes, I did. Yes. To do a spreadsheet from
their little their graduation photos.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I have to put some money on their books and get them out.
Or someone said, I think it was Tony said he wanted to be a prison guard in one of their prisons.
I wonder that thing. Hey, they look cute, but I wonder what they did.
You gotta be careful too, right? Look, you got the thong showing and shit, but if they killed a couple dudes to get in there, you know what I mean?
Right, they look good and all, but who'd y'all shoot? Who'd you kill? Who'd you stab? Who'd you steal from to get in this position? But hey, hopefully y'all get out soon. Wish y'all the best of luck. Hopefully y'all get rehabilitated and a good man want to take y'all.
Look at the one standing on the end. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, but they in prison. You know what I mean? So
I want to be a prison guard in that female prison.
I feel you, brother.
Have you real quick before we get back to Walking Dead, have you noticed the amount of like people in jail that's just on their like getting these smartphones and stuff in there? like
Yeah.
literally just live streaming and stuff. Because I'm not sure if you heard the guy, but the guy Drewski, who does comedy and stuff, he does this little could have been records, and he just has people come on to his Instagram live and pretend to like he's pretending to be like this guy that owns this record label. Come and pitch yourself to me, what music you got or what you can do. And we dudes from prison on the streets all the time. They'll cover their face up and stuff and perform for him, and it's like, dang, they just I don't know what's going on in these prisons. They getting sloppy. But also we know these guards, these guards help them out. They slide money in there.
Absolutely, 100%. You know what I mean?
Most of these guards do smuggle this stuff in anyways, but they
get some sort of pay for it. Absolutely, Yeah.
The Last of Us season finale is tomorrow. I'll be there for
is it.
Yeah. It's kind of. I feel like they rushed it. I mean, I'll just say this: they captured all the main points of the game so far. They captured all the main points, like the main story beats. Each episode catches the main story beats of the game. But I expect a couple more episodes because there was, because like
I never played the game, right? So I don't know, but that's why I ask people how close is it towards the game. A lot of people say it's pretty accurate. So
yeah, it's not say it's not accurate, but like then you kind of ending it too soon,
Yeah.
Let me think about it. There's some parts of it that honestly should have been fleshed out a bit more. Just a little bit more. I don't think it should be ending this soon for this first season. It's kind of quick.
I'm like, where are the zombies? Where are the creatures? Like, you got that one episode where they came out the ground. That shit was lit. And then we have
like 2 episodes. Let me think.
Yeah, just 2 episodes with them.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like where the zombies, man? Like, come on, like give us something. Yeah, it was that's one of the issues that I have with it. It's a good show. But it's no Walking Dead.
I can say I don't dislike the characters, but if I had to compare it, the Walking Dead characters for me, I like Joel and Ellie from the game better. Joel and Ellie in the show, they're serviceable for me. They cool. But the Walking Dead characters, if I had to compare it to Last of Us, the Walking Dead characters are better characters. Absolutely. Rick, I got him over Joel any day of the week. Joel from the game, hey, I got Joel from the game over Rick, but Joel from the show, yeah.
Yep. There's Rick. Morgan came into the show. Morgan was a badass. I really like Morgan. Morgan's leading Fear the Walking Dead, which I think is really good too. If you're not watching Fear the Walking Dead, check that one out too, because that's really good too. So
I wish was Morgan, in my opinion, was a character who didn't get enough screen time. So, but it was that because it was on Fear the Walking Dead too, and there was a point to keep them separated and let them reunite at times. But would have been just cool in each of the seasons we see more of Morgan, because you really don't see that much of Morgan in most seasons. He doesn't get no appearances in season. No.
Well, he's in season 1, and then he doesn't come back to like season 4 or 5. One of those seasons,
right?
Yeah,
and then it's like a season in between where Rick is out with, I think it was Michonne or it was Michonne and somebody else, and they ran upon Morgan, and Morgan tried to kill Rick, and Rick had to like talk to him and stuff, and get his head straight.
Yeah, that's when he came back. And I think he disappeared for a while after that too, maybe for like another season, and then he comes back, and that's where he gets caught up with that guy who teaches him how to use the staff, and you know what I mean. So yeah.
I think, and I kind of, Morgan as a character, he would have benefited more from like being on like that main cast and just being part of Rick's group in general. Because he was Morgan. I don't dislike Morgan, but he didn't get it. He had potentials to be a good character for that show. It's just they didn't utilize him. They wanted to have this whole thing. We got to keep them separate. They call this reunion and stuff to show that even though we separated, we'll still end up linking back up with one another, blah, blah, blah. But I really think they should have went full on putting him on the cast, because when they did the stuff like kill Glenn and Abraham and some of these characters and stuff, at least you'd have some strong characters like Morgan to stick around to actually like lead the show, because he has potential to lead.
Morgan wasn't around. He was around. I know he helped out, but I don't remember where he was when they first encountered Negan. He comes around a little bit after and helps out with the Negan stuff when they get to the kingdom. He's a part of the kingdom with Ezekiel in there, but I think at one point he goes off to do his own thing and then he comes back. And that was I think that was one of the biggest problems with him, is that he leaves and comes back. But another character that I think was very underrated that I like was Gabriel as well, the priest, because he started off like a little.
Oh,
Like
he leveled up. I seen him in the next couple. His eye got messed up, but he stepped up. He
stepped up big time.
He knew for so long, all that prayer and stuff wasn't going to stop all these zombies. Like, well, gotta get these bullets, pray on these bullets, and bless them, and go. Yeah, you had to put some holiness on those bullets.
Absolutely, 100%.
And it was another character. How'd you feel about Beth? Do you think Beth died too soon, or that was the perfect time to like kill her off and move on from her character?
It's hard for me to say that anybody died too soon. I think you could have done a little bit more with her, but I think it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, because if you notice, around that time, that's when Tyrese died, who was Sasha's brother, and Beth died, Maggie's sister, and it was back-to-back episodes too. It wasn't they had a break in between. Tyrese died the episode after Beth died, and then 3 or 4 episodes after that, Tyler James Williams' character, who Tyreek saved, died. And I remember, I recently rewatched the episode. Tyler James Williams' character told Sasha, like, I don't even think I'm gonna make it that long. And then Sasha told him, and she said she was very stone cold about it. She said if you, she said something like, she didn't say you wouldn't make it, but she said something like, if you fight, you will make it. If you don't, then you won't make it. Saying like, it is what it is. Whatever happens. If you don't have the energy to keep pushing, then you dead. And then he died.
Yeah.
I don't know if they was trying to set up. I couldn't make the connection what they was trying to set up there, but that was something I did notice when those episodes, like, so close to each other. Those characters that cared for each other so much and helped each other out just died so soon in between each other.
I think that's the one thing that I think I liked about The Walking Dead, is that, if you read the comics, and I haven't really read the comics, but I went back and did research, like, after each season to see what they've changed and this and that. And I like the fact that certain people that died in the comic didn't die in the show, or they died differently in the show, because you don't want to just do the same cut and paste routine from the comic book, right? So you got to do a little bit of changes. And I think that's kind of what they did with The Last of Us. I could be wrong, I don't know, but I enjoy that. I don't want to see copy and paste. I want to see something different. So
nah, video game Joel, he don't got no plot. He don't got plot armor because he got killed by a golf club. He good. He don't got that much plot armor, but video game Joel to go. HBO Joel lacking compared to video game Joel. Video game Joel actually punches. He punches the well, if you got a weapon, he goes literally head up with the walkers. Like he will get into some hand to hand. Like he's no stranger to it. I'm not saying Joel need to be a superhero, but video game Joel, he was no chump. He was no slouch. That's the game compared to the show. But regardless, he was no slouch. He'll go head up with not a walker, a clicker. He'll go head up with him no matter what.
And he ends up dying in the second one, right?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't adapt that second game. But what they can do anyways, the season 2 doesn't even have to be about the game. They can just flesh out the parts in between, because the second game is a time skip. Ellie's like, I think 18 or 19 or whatever in the second game. So compared to now, where she's like 14 or whatever, It's a huge gap in between. You can do the second game by like season 4 or season 3 if they do decide to continue it. And whatever wrongs they made in the game, they can change it for the show anyways. Like for example, not letting this new character play this new main character kill Joel, because that's one of the issues people have with the second game.
Mm-hmm.
They made you play as a character that killed the main character that we all fell in love with.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, you playing God of War and then some character shows up, kills Kratos. Now you gotta play as him. It's like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Ellie is 19 and part of. Okay.
Yeah, Ellie is 19. Yep. And hopefully Neil Druckmann, who made the first game and the second game, is heavily overseeing the show. So that's the thing where I'm like, I doubt he's going to listen to the criticism, because he pushed back on people that criticized the second game. And, you know, as a creator, that's your right too. But you also listen to the criticism too. It's not to say you have to do what everybody else is telling you to do, but compared to your first game, there was more people against the second game than your first game. People absolutely love the first game. Mm-hmm. Whether, you know, they have any biases and stuff, people love it unanimously. Majority of us. The second game, it got so much hate. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
You gotta, you gotta listen to some people. You gotta see there's something going on here. The fans are pushing back. Why are they pushing back? You need to fix something. You need to make some changes.
Mm-hmm. But it's like you said, right? You don't have to really follow the game completely. You could do what happens in between, like for the next 2 seasons, and then boom, in season 4, you start with, or even season 5, you start with the part 2 of the game. So, and who knows? Maybe the ratings will go down by them, and you don't need to make a part 5. You know what I mean? They cancel it before, and then nobody has to watch that shit.
Right, because so far, like, this show, it's been better than that Halo show. As a video game adaptation, this is really good. And you know, I'm just hoping they don't adapt that second game and just end up ruining what they established. Because that second game story is not good. There's literally there's a point in the game where you play as the girl that killed Joel's character. And she's doing like a supply run with some chick, and she's pregnant, right? She's pregnant. It's this pregnant chick, and she's the medic of their camp. They got this girl jumping over fences, fighting zombies. She's pregnant too. She's not like fully like in it. She's, you know, probably 2 or 3 months, but it's like, what are y'all doing? Like, why? Got that poor pregnant woman out there jumping over fences. She climbed over a high fence too. It was like one of them prison fences.
So in the first game, do you play as Joel or Ellie?
You play as Joel. There's one part of the game where you play as Ellie, but it's only for you're caught up on the episodes, right?
Yeah.
You know the most recent episode where Ellie almost got raped?
Yeah.
That's when you play as her. But it's for like one mission. It's not, it's like a mission or two. It's a little arc in the game, but it's nothing long. But it's a period when
oh, go ahead.
It's a period when Joel is hurt, like in the show, and it's like, I think 2 missions, and then Joel wakes back up after he recovers and comes to save Ellie. It's totally different, because in the game he's going to save Ellie, and you know, same thing happens. She almost gets raped, blah blah blah, but it's a little bit different. Like, Joel got to go through a whole bunch of dudes before he can get to Ellie. Like, he goes straight up commando.
And in the game 2, do you play as the person that killed Joel, or do you play as Ellie?
You play as both. So in the second game, you play as Ellie and Abby, but you play enough of Abby to where it's like, dang, you don't want to play as no more. You play because you can switch. You can't switch between both. You can't try to play as Abby the whole game or Ellie the whole game. You can only play as them in different segments.
Different spots,
Yeah, and then the Left Behind DLC, which they adapted into the full episode. Pregnant Spider-Woman vibes. But yeah, was there anything else you want to say about the Walking Dead topic before I have to throw you off with this quiz?
Nah. Walking Dead's fire. I enjoy it. Let's get on with the quiz and let me show you how we do over here in Canada, guys.
All right, you guys. Anzo, you know what's up. You get an option of 2 different people in the chat to help you out. If you do feel like you need help with a question, people in the chat. Yes, you don't have to, but you can choose help Anzo. If Anzo can't get nobody to help or bail him out, he's gonna have to answer it regardless of anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Anzo, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's go. A quiz for Big Afford Entertainment. Buy a real one. Let's go. What year did the film Fresh release?
Oh my god. 1993. Final
answer?
Yeah.
All right. The correct answer is 1994.
Shit, I knew.
1994.
And it was 3 or 4. God damn it.
Underrated movie, by the way. People don't talk about this movie enough.
Yeah, movie's great. Movie's good.
Probably one of Samuel Jackson's most underrated roles, honestly.
I agree. Steven Nerdman said 1993. I know, Nerdman. I was wrong too.
What is the rap group featured in the Wayne Brothers intro? So in the first intro where they have the afros and they're helping the old lady, that intro.
Shit. I don't want to say Tribe Called Quest. It's probably Beastie. No, Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe Called. Final answer?
Yeah.
All right. The answer is Tribe Called Quest. It's their song Electric Relaxation Plan.
Yeah, that's it.
Goated intro.
Facts. Great
Fresh
show.
Fantastic. Too. Of course, it's underrated. It's about black. I mean, it's one of the underrated black urban hood movies of that era. Mm-hmm. Like you got Boys in the Hood that gets hyped up over it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think it's a little bit better than Boys in the Hood. I like Boys in the Hood, but I think it's a little bit better than Boys in the Hood.
I wouldn't say it's better. I think Boys in the Hood is a classic, but I think Menace to Society is better than Boys in the Hood too, as well.
I agree.
But
I agree with that.
It's really good though. Fresh is really good.
Next question. What album did Ice Cube It Was a Good Day debut on?
Oh, Lethal Injection. I think it's either Lethal Injection or Death Certificate, but I'm gonna go with Death Certificate. Death Certificate. That's it.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right. The correct answer is The Predator.
Fuck.
Predator.
Shit. Okay.
Ready for the next one?
I wasn't even close. Yeah, go ahead.
What did Captain America say to Black Widow after jumping from the plane in Winter Soldier? The very first scene in the movie.
Oh my god. Too busy. Number 2. Too busy.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Correct answer is too busy. Got that one.
Yeah. She asked about the date and he said he's too busy. I remember. Mm-hmm.
Next question. What year did He-Man and the Masters of the Universe debut?
1980.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
All right. Correct answer? 1983.
God damn it. Shit.
I was gonna throw you off. I don't play games with these quizzes. I was gonna throw y'all off.
This guy asking me about Master of the Universe and everything. I know you just went back and said, let me see what questions I can come up for the 80s, right?
I remember when the He-Man Netflix one came out, I was like, man, everybody it's not that bad.
Oh no, it was horrible.
Next question. Who made the touch from the Transformers movie? So who performs the song?
Mm-hmm. Stan Bush.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Stan Bush.
Absolutely. I just watched that movie like a week ago. Not even 2 days ago. It's on freaking YouTube. I was like, oh, Transformers movies on YouTube? The whole thing? I just popped it on there before I went to bed and watched it.
I didn't rewatch them. I haven't seen it in a while.
It's great. It's great.
Next question.
You really put Michael Jackson on the list, though?
Yeah.
Did you think so?
I mean, I had to throw on people from the era. I was about to throw on like.
Don't even ask the question. It's number 4 all day, every day. Number 4.
Correct answer is Helter Skelter. Had to put this on my playlist. Yeah, I had to put this on my playlist a while back when you recommended it. It was solid song.
That shit's fire.
Next question. What is the title? Now this one will throw you off. What is the title of Flash Season 1, Episode 1?
Oh my Lord. It's either Fastest Man Alive or Pilot, but I'm gonna go with Fastest Man Alive. No, yeah, I'm gonna go Fastest Man Alive.
You sure? Final answer?
Yeah, if it's Pilot, I'm gonna be pissed. Go ahead.
Correct answer is Pilot.
Fuck! God damn it!
I had to go back to the episode to make sure, but Fastest Man Alive is the second episode, and Things You Can't Outrun is the third episode. Quicksilver, I just randomly threw that in there.
Bitch. And Chillmonger said it too, right? And I was like, yeah, no, I think Chillmonger's trying to throw me off. And it's like fucking.
I mean, yeah, and this was around that time when they was just calling first episodes pilots, anyways. They stopped that, but it was still around the time they was calling those episodes pilots.
Oh yes, Snyder Stephen. I've been watching the last season of Flash, and it is terrible. Terrible.
Is because I mean I'm not gonna watch it. I haven't even watched season 6.
Don't waste your time, bro. Don't waste your time.
Man, I seen that girl Javicia Leslie who plays Batwoman and
oh my god,
her. Jeez, like
horrible.
She is not convincing at acting crazy and angry. Like there's no convincing way, but like. She is not convincing at all. Like she's trying to be crazy and angry and stuff. It's almost
at
fun.
all. And you know what's funny? When she ended up coming in to the end of the episode 2 as Batgirl or Batwoman, she did a better job. But when she came in, that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Great.
I kind of feel bad. Flash season 9 is ending like this. I mean,
I'm glad it's over though. I think it's run its time. You know,
it just ran its course. It sucks that it got to end like this with acting. That's but this is it. Next question: what year did Ninja Scroll release?
You know, it's fucked up because you already know that this is my favorite anime, right? It's the only one I like. Ninja Scroll is the only one I like. Oh man, let's go at 93. I think
93. Final answer.
Yeah.
All right. 1993.
Okay. Good.
Next one. What was the last thing Thanos said to Nebula before Thor cut off his head?
Number 4. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
All right. Final answer.
Yeah.
Thanos said, perhaps I treated you too harshly.
You tried to fucking trick me too, because the first one says, I treated you too harshly. Yeah, I see that.
Tried to throw you off, but you got it, though. I figured you don't get it. You said Inventor was your favorite movie. Well, favorite MCU movie.
Absolutely. Still is. Oh, Lord.
What year did G.I. Joe, a real American hero, release?
Oh my God. I'm not going to pick 3 this time, so I'm going to go with 1985. Final answer.
Final answer. All right. And the correct answer is 1983.
God damn it!
1983.
Oh my Lord. I said I'm not going to go with 1983, and it was 1983. Wow.
Ready for the next one? What was the name of Martin Lawrence's character in Blue Streak?
Oh, you son of a... Miles Logan.
Miles Logan, final answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Correct. Miles
Yeah.
Logan. Miles Logan.
Cool. I don't know his last name. I just remember Miles for some reason. So I was like, Miles Logan.
This is not underrated, but this one of Martin Lawrence's best movies too.
One of his best ones. Yeah. I agree.
Which season did Rick's group find Alexandria?
It was season 6. Season 6. Final answer.
Season 6, final answer?
Yes.
All right. Season 5. Well, yeah, middle of season 5, episode 12. That's when they got to Alexandria.
Fuck, Chill was right. God damn it. Whatever. I still like the show, guys. You know what I mean? It's still a great show. Shut up, nerd man.
Sneaks and Storm Shadow are the best parts of the live action jet. Facts. You know what? Recently, real quick, for more to the next question, I didn't realize how much money that first G.I. Joe movie made. It made over $700 million. I see why they made a sequel.
Rise of Cobra made over $700 million.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I didn't know that either. How much did the second one make?
Let me.
With The Rock, probably a lot less.
Let me bring it up.
Anyways, nerd man, I can't wait until you get on here and he has questions
for
you.
No, wait.
Yeah. You a fake nerd.
Well, I'm tripping. It was only made at 300. I was looking at something else.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I was tripping. It was. Yeah, I saw something else. I'm tripping. Sorry, guys. Wrong information. Don't take that as a fact.
You see, that's why you got
Rise of Cobra. Even with the changes, was better than the other
fucking them up as well.
Rise of Cobra was better than the two after. It was better than Snake Eyes and the one with The Rock in it. Next question. What episode did Michonne appear in The Walking Dead?
Oh my god. Season 2, episode 13.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
See, and you are
correct. That was a guess. That was a lucky guess. I don't fucking remember. That's season 2. That's like, okay, so we're on season 11, which ended. Season 2 was like what, 5-6 years ago? Lucky guess.
Well, so I had to make sure, because I remember, Michonne appeared. I was thinking season 3, and I had to go back and check. This is her. So the picture is her making her first appearance, but she doesn't take off her hood or nothing. We don't know it's her yet.
Right.
Until season 3.
When they go back to the flashback and show you that it's her. Yeah.
Yep. Last question. Question 15. Dude, this one's gonna be might be a doozy. Make sure I don't hit it. All right. Last question. What platform did the GoldenEye 007 game release on? First platform.
Yeah. Really? Really?
Yep.
The first platform that it released on, because I had it and I used to play it like crazy, was the Nintendo 64. Final answer.
All right. Correct answer is Nintendo 64.
That was my shit, bro. That game, we used to play that.
They got go ahead on Game Pass now.
Yeah, I know. I seen that. And that was the only game that, like, first-person shooter game that I could play without getting a headache. I don't know if I try it on Game Pass if it will still, but that game
it still kind of plays the same.
That game was fire. fire.
I might possibly stream it later today if I got time, but I gotta go see these movies.
Did you play the Resident Evil demo yet? Resident Evil 4 remake demo?
I did not play it yet.
It's on Game Pass. It's free. It's like a little part in it, but it's tight.
I am gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out because with Resident Evil 4 was always my pick. Like 4 and beyond was always my pace because that was really it was just too slow for me. Characters moved too slow. Yeah, it was for the immersion and for the horror aspect, but I need to move quicker. Look, most of these zombies walk. Let me be a little bit more agile, move around a bit more. I got me slacking. Like I need to be more versatile. And 4 and beyond, even I played 6, and 6 was more up to my speed. Characters a lot faster, guns were better.
4 and 5 are my favorite ones. I'm not sure which one 6 is. When they started putting in first person, that's when I had to check out because I can't play first person games. But 4 and 5 were my favorites.
Goated stream, y'all. Thank you, Snyder Stepping with this facts. This is a goated stream. And I got Anzo on that trivia. His confidence was high, but I have to tear down some people's confidence with these quizzes. Nerd Man, Phil, I'm gonna get you guys on soon. You guys are coming on next. Get ready for this trivia. Prepare yourselves. It's gonna be based around stuff you guys like. It's not gonna be random stuff. I'm not gonna quiz you guys on freaking history and shit. Well, since Nerd Man's from the UK, I might quiz him on some UK history. One of the questions I should ask: When did Europe? No, it was not all of them. When did the UK stop using slaves?
He said, I smoked this quiz. First off, you didn't even smoke this one because you got just as much answers wrong as I did, Nerd Man. So, and Chillmonger saying I will get 100. Okay. I'm going to come up with some questions just to give these guys so that they can screw you guys up. You know what I mean?
European philosophy. Yeah, like I said, the question is going to be a wide variety and stuff. It's going to be a different guest every episode. Some people might come on, also might come on again, and if he does come on again, it's going to get a different quiz with different questions, different answers.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you having me on, man. It was fun. When I seen you were doing this series, right? I was like, hey, wait a minute. Kiddo's doing a new series and I'm not the first one on the show? What the hell? But then I seen who you had on and I was like, okay, yeah.
You gotta get
the females on first. I got you.
And also, some people see, thumbnail, a woman.
Yeah.
Hey, but Bell, shouts out Bell, shouts out Raya. I ain't trying to use y'all just because y'all looks. But y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up.
Yeah, y'all killed it too as well. So it's great.
Don't know who I'm gonna get on next, but if things don't go the way I need it to be, more than likely Chillmonger or Nerdman is gonna be potentially next up for sure.
That is going to be interesting. Yes, Nerdman, I know the wit quiz was made for me, but you were still in there answering questions like you knew what the hell was going on, and you got them wrong too, brother. Chillmonger said, I got Bella and Rhea before you too, Anzo. Do you? You got something coming up where you have them? Listen, hey, yeah, I get it. You want to have the females come on first to get the audience, but then when they get the audience, you bring in the champion who's going to get the most views and be the best guests on the show, which is me. I get it. I understand. No worries. It's all good. I'll let you guys do your thing.
Hey, I just like to be, gotta have respect for the ladies. Ladies first, all that nonsense and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%.
But you guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you, Anzo, for coming on. You guys might get ready to go see these movies and stuff, and I got some other stuff to take care of. Got to cook dinner for myself. But yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal for today.
And me, I'm going to chill. my ban from 2K finally lifts tomorrow, so I will be able to play some 2K again. I've been, huh?
How'd you get banned?
Man, so real quick before we go, right? 2K has two methods of money, right?
Yeah.
They have VC, virtual currency, and they have MT, which is for the my team points, right?
Yeah.
Now, virtual currency you have to buy through the game, right?
Right.
But you can go on these websites and buy MT, right? So what happened was they went and they started banning everybody who was buying MT. People have been buying MT since my team started, right? Like 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I think my team started. People been buying MT. I never bought any. What I did was I got this little $25 card on my Xbox because I don't know, I did some kind of goal, so they gave me some points. I was able to get a $25 card. I got the $25 card. I bought some VC, and then with the cards that I got, I put them in the auction house and sold them. Came home from work on Friday, and then it was like, you were banned. I'm like, banned for what? So I went on there, I tried to argue with them, and they give you the same old generic like YouTube does when you ban, or just check the terms and condition. That's what they gave me. So I had to wait. So I'm just like, you know what? One thing I will say is I will buy 2K23 or 24, but I will never, ever, ever put any more money into these games unless it's buying them. I will never buy VC. I will never buy anything else because I didn't even do anything and they banned me. So it is what it is.
Yeah, you can't. The last time I got banned in the game, real quick, and we're gonna end it. Last time I got banned from a game was it was one of those online MMORPGs. The game was called Fusion Fall. Not Fusion Fall, Free Realms. People remember it from a while back. And it was just it was a kid friendly MMO game, and I got banned on it for some shit. But in them bans they do it like you're banned for 100 years. It's basically saying you can't ever play again.
Oh shit!
And they would basically banned me for 100. But this was like from when I was this was early 2000 going into the 2010s. So this was a while ago. This game's not even online anymore.
You see, so it doesn't even matter, right? Who cares? But to be banned for not doing something, right? And a lot of people, like I've been online and checking out the 2K community, a lot of people were banned for not buying MT. Like they were just banned. Like if you got a good card and you sold it for a lot, they figured you bought MT and banned you, right? So it's basically like a bot that's going around and checking out certain things like, okay, this looks like a thing, and we ban them. That's what happened to me. So, and the customer service is garbage. So I'm saying, guys, I grind 2K constantly, and if you play 2K or any of these games that where they like, you need to buy currency and stuff like that, don't do it, because you can still get a good team or whatever you need to do without buying that MT. Don't put no more money into the game than you have to, because they will continue to milk the fuck out of you. So that's it.
All right, you guys. Want to thank y'all for watching. Goes for that peace, love, positivity, all that jazz. Don't do drugs, and like I always say, deuces.